The doors to the Viridian tea house are open once more. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I am not. I am currently battling a cold virus. It's all in my head. So if I sound a little nasally, that's why. My Thanksgiving was being the doctor for my boyfriend because apparently he got the flu. So yay! I tried to avoid the virus as long as I could, and thankfully, because of the vitamins and the exercising and the drinking of tea, it only just turned into a head cold. So there was no fever, no chills, none of that. So, muda ani. Seriously. And apparently the flu is running rampant this time. So for those of you who are out there sick, I hope you get better. Drink lots of liquids, lots of tea, lots of water. If you have access to matzo ball soup, please have some matzo ball soup or chicken noodle soup. Get lots of rest, read a lot of books, and take your medicine too. Anyway, if I go into a coughing fit, my apologies up front. But yes, I have two books that I'm dying to talk about. So without further ado, here we go. The first book. Mike, you are an amazing writer. You really, really are an amazing writer. You're so talented. You are one of the most talented authors I have ever not met through your wife, not met, you know what I mean. Mike Kupari is an author that I think more people need to read. What's interesting is that his wife is one of my best friends, and we were talking about his writing, and she said, you're not really his demographic because he writes for Bain. It's a hardcore sci-fi, military, that kind of thing. And I thought about that for a while. And then I realized, I was like, wait a minute, I am his demographic. I am the reader who will read almost anything. If it has a good story, if it has a good plot, if I look up and several hours have gone by, I am definitely going to read that book, and I am definitely Mike Kupari's demographic. So, Trouble Walked In. Dear God, what a book. It is the perfect blend of hard-boiled detective noir with sprinklings of cyberpunk and a little bit of philosophy and religion, just a hint of religion. But let me read the back of it for you. The search for a missing woman exposes a conspiracy that could threaten an entire planet. Cassandra Blake, an employee for the Ascension Planetary Holdings Group, the largest and most powerful corporation on Nova Columbia, has gone missing, and her sister wants to know why. When questions need answering on Nova Columbia, Detective Ezekiel Easy Novak is the man folks turn to. He gets results one way or another. I loved Easy. I loved his character. Loved it. But what begins as a routine missing person case quickly turns into something much bigger and more sinister, with implications that could affect the entire planet. It seems Cassandra wasn't just investigating her employer. She had uncovered a secret effort to excavate and exploit an ancient alien artifact known only as the Seraph. Soon, Easy finds himself trying to unravel a conspiracy that may implicate not only Ascension, but the cult-like cosmic ontological foundation and the highest echelons of the Turan Confederation itself. I've only read 3 of Mike Kupari's books, and I know he co-wrote a couple of books as well, all through Bain. This is by far the best book I've ever read by him. I mean, just hands down, because it starts off as a, trouble walked in and it had gorgeous legs and beautiful hair. And you think, it's going to be like a Sam Spade. And then it just turns into something else. But it's smooth, it's flawless. The characters are just, you want to root for the good guys, and then the good guy bad guy line gets blurred a little bit once the plot begins to unravel, but just kind of bloom like a flower. But yeah, very much a wonderful mix of hard-boiled detective noir with cyberpunk elements. And I did ask if this was truly a cyberpunk book. Cyberpunk elements, but it's not a cyberpunk book, but it doesn't matter. I loved how he described the seraph, and that got me thinking a little bit. Questions regarding, is this a god? Is this an angel? Is this something else? What did it create? Why is it here? What's gonna happen now? And the ending, Mike, if you're listening, I wonder if you're gonna do a sequel regarding the return of several characters. And even if you don't, that's fine. This book, standalone, just sheer bliss in terms of reading. Truly, it truly was. So for Trouble Walked In by Mike Kupari, published through Baen Books, I give it, if I could grab it, Viridian Tea House's 5 Pots of Tea. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you so much, Jax and Penny as well. Gotta thank the whole family. But yes, and thanks to Baen Books as well. Thank you so much. I just a little side note, like I've known of Baen for quite some time, but I never really read too many of their books until I got into Mike Kupari's books. And seriously, I'm just like, okay, brand new publisher for me to delve into. What else you got? So, but thank you again, Mike, and thank you, Baen Books, for Trouble Walked In by Mike Kupari, published through Baen Books. Thank you again. So the second book has a little backstory. So recently, I volunteered at the Denver Public Library at one of their pop-up book sales. And it was really cool, to meet fellow book nerds and also grab as many books as I can. But it was a really good time. And this was particularly one of the books that I had picked up. It's called The Lost History of Dreams by Kris Waldherr. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. I hope I am. I had it on my shelf and I said, I think I'm just gonna read it. The title drew me in. Wow. They put on here Wuthering Heights meets Penny Dreadful in Kris Waldherr's The Lost History of Dreams, a dark Victorian epic of obsessive love, thwarted genius, and ghostly visitations. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. What a wonderful blend. I mean, I love Wuthering Heights, which, that was one of my all-time favorite books because I thought, this is such a gothic romance. And then years later, I thought, I don't think this is a romance. I don't think so. Penny Dreadful, love the show. I love the creepy gothic stories. The Lost History of Dreams is, if you're looking for a nice creepy read during the winter season, this one, you gotta check this one out. And I loved it so much that I reached out to the author via Instagram and I was like, I love your book. This is fantastic. And then I followed her and she ended up following me too. So Kris, thank you so much. Thank you. A couple of these sections, I literally stopped and I went, wait, did I just read that right? Wait, let me go back and read that again. There were a couple of moments where, like I said, I did get a little confused, but then I took a step back, reread the section. I was like, oh, that's, wow, that's, okay. I loved how Kris handles the dead because they're not really dead. And none of the ghosts are, with pus and ooze coming out of them. No, if you don't look hard enough, I mean, if you don't look hard enough, sorry, it's the cold, it's messing up my brain. But if you don't look hard enough, you would think that they were alive. and the themes regarding love and obsession and letting go and the power of art, especially with the poet. And let me just read the inside for you. Okay. All love stories are ghost stories in disguise. When famed Baronesque poet Hugh de Bon is found dead in his bath one morning in 1850, the task of burying his body falls to his estranged cousin, historian turned post-mortem photographer Robert Hysted. De Bon's will instructs that he should be buried in an unusual chapel, a stained glass folly set on the Shropshire moors, built to house the remains of his beloved wife and muse, Ada. It has since been locked to all outsiders, especially the rabid cult-like fans of De Bon's final book, The Lost History of Dreams. I liked how Kris handled the groupies of this poet. I really liked, especially with the raven feathers. Only Ada's grief-stricken niece, Isabel, holds the key, but she refuses to open the glass chapel unless Robert agrees to her bargain. Before he can lay Hugh to rest, Robert must record the real story behind her aunt's ill-fated marriage over the course of 5 nights. Sweeping and darkly atmospheric, The Lost History of Dreams is a gothic mystery about love and loss that blurs the line between past and present, truth and fiction, and ultimately life and death. I couldn't have said it better myself. It was a beautiful, dark love letter to the Victorian way, and especially life and death, and love, and obsessively holding on, and also letting go too. It was beautiful. The plot twists did not see them coming. Really didn't see them coming at all, but that added to the mystery, to the beauty of the overall story. And I know that Kris has another book that's out regarding the women of Frankenstein, and you can be very, very sure that I will be picking up a copy of that book, because she is a master storyteller. She truly is. And yes, at times it was a story within a story, and sometimes, you know, depending on the author, you're just kind of like, I have no idea what's going on. But the way that the story within the story was handled regarding Hugh, his wife Ada, and their daughter, truly tragic, but handled well. And I'm just very glad that I was able to pick this book up. So The Lost History of Dreams by Kris Waldherr. It gets Viridian Tea Company's 4 pots of tea. The only reason why I didn't give it a 5 was because there were a couple times I got a little bit stuck in the weeds, but then I pulled myself back and went, okay, now I know what's going on, carry on. And also too, because I just wanted it to be a little bit longer, but personal preference. But yes, The Lost History of Dreams by Kris Waldherr is truly if you are into the dark gothic romance stories, you really cannot go wrong with The Lost History of Dreams. And like I said, I really enjoyed how she handled the groupies of the poet. I truly did. That this was a delicious dark ride, and I just can't thank you enough. Thank you. So moving on to the tea, I'm not really reviewing this tea, but just a reminder, you know, this is cold and flu season, so please make sure that you stay hydrated. One tea that I bought for my boyfriend when he started showing the flu symptoms, I got Celestial Seasonings Honey Lemon Ginseng green tea. This is one of my go-tos, honestly. I mean, it's got the high antioxidants. It's got the soothing taste. So if you have a scratchy throat, it's perfect for it. A little side note about Celestial Seasonings. When I found out that Celestial Seasonings is in Boulder, not too far from where I live, when I first came out to Colorado and to spend time with my boyfriend, he took me to the home office of Celestial Seasonings. And I remember when I saw the street sign for Sleepy Time Bear Lane or Sleepy Time Lane, I literally turned into a fangirl. I fangirled so hard at the home office of Celestial Seasonings. It's like, it's one of those bucket list moments for me that I never thought was ever going to happen. Yet when I was actually there, I was like, this is a dream come true. I'm actually standing. I didn't go inside because this was during the beginning, the earlier part of COVID, and lots of things were shut down, but it was truly an honor to be standing at the home office of Celestial Seasonings. It really was. And if any representative of Celestial Seasonings is watching this video, I've loved your tea for years. And in fact, you guys were the ones who started me on this tea path, because I didn't want to drink green tea. I thought that green tea tasted like hay, and I was so wrong about that. But you guys, your blends were the ones that got me started on my tea path. So I thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And for those of you who are interested in obtaining a box of the Honey Lemon Ginseng, the ingredients are green tea, white tea, lemon, honey, licorice, lemon verbena, ginger, roasted chicory, and honey, molasses, cane sugar, Asian ginseng. So this is all good stuff for you. And in fact, here's my cup. Oh, you know, this is the perfect kind of tea when you wake up and you realize you've got a head cold, and thankfully you don't have to go anywhere. So you just make a pot of this, sit on your couch and watch a movie or enjoy a book. But thank you so much, Celestial Seasonings. You have helped both my boyfriend and myself with our cold and flu viruses. That is delicious. So smooth. It really is smooth. Well, before I end this video with a meditation, let me say thank you again to Kris Waldherr and Kupari for their books. Thanks to Celestial Seasonings, as always, for wonderful tea blends. They have a mandarin orange herbal tea blend that is to die for, by the way. Plus their zingers are good too. So let's end with a nice little breathing meditation, and find yourself in a comfortable position, either sitting down, lying down, or standing up. And you know the drill, but if you're new to this, start with 2 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then also we're going to close our eyes and just focus on our breathing. If you find yourself being carried away by your thoughts, don't worry about it. Just stop, tell yourself thinking, let the thought go by, and just resume focusing on your breath. Let me get rid of that notification. Thank you. Social media, gotta love it. All right, so let's begin. Now, as we end this breathing meditation, let's take one deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes or focus, and we're back. I forgot to mention a couple of things. So for those of you who follow football or soccer, the FIFA World Cup is going on right now, and I'll tell you something, I've seen some fantastic games. The biggest one was United States versus England. A lot of people thought that the United States should have won it, but it was a fantastic game. It really was. But yeah, so for all of the teams who are playing, you know, you guys have done wonderful jobs, and it's just great to enjoy a little bit of football, you know, and just scream, just scream, goal! Oh, excuse me. And also, too, on a sad note, I received notification on Thanksgiving night that a member of the New Orleans geek community and fandom community passed away. His name was Drew Blaylock, and may his memory forever be a blessing. It was an unexpected death, and I know people are still in mourning. So from all the way out here in Colorado, I'm truly, truly sorry about his death. And as I said before, may his memory forever be a blessing. So, well, that's all for now. My nose needs a good blow. So I hope that you enjoy your week, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And if you're sick like me, I hope you get some rest and take care of yourself. So until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Raise your teacup high, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.